Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, whiteout conditions throughout the Great Plains sure made travel difficult, but we're still expecting a full house at Empower Field at Mile High here in Denver. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. A CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
The Broncos will kick. Here's Brandon McManus to start us, and we are off from Denver. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Watch that in. Watch that in.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Tight end Jesse James has made the move from Pittsburgh, where he spent his first 4 NFL seasons. Now he's going to reside in Detroit. A big target at 6'7", a terrific run blocker, has a great chance to beat his career high in receptions of 43 in 2017 in the Lions' pass-first offense.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go, G. All day.
2nd and 5. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Scarborough. Todd Davis, the Broncos' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Switch.
This is Scarborough. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Used to have a coach who used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Time to get our first look at the Denver Broncos on offense and quarterback Drew Lock, who is now 2-0.
2-0, baby.
As an NFL starter. He won in Week 13, and then he won in Week 14 at Houston 38-24. And we love obscure stats, so here's an obscure stat. Drew Lock, the first rookie since 1950 to have at least 300 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns in his first career road start.
How about that? But you know what I liked about his first 2 starts? In the first one, he had to bring his team back late in order to get the game winner. Remember, they had to have the last drive, helped by a questionable call, but still got it done. In this case, led from the front all the way. What were they up, 31-3 at one point? So he's seen both ends of the spectrum in his 2 starts already. Can't wait to see how he continues to develop. And right now, if you're a Denver fan, you're thinking you might have your quarterback for the future.
Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll let this go deep for Sutton, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart, finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Check it backer, check it backer.
On second down, a run with Lindsay. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Set, ready, 10-2, stop.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Like. Shoot.
3rd and 2, Lock's going to throw. Got an open man, it's Fumagalli. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Detroit's offense coming back onto the field. It's a Detroit team, and we kind of say this every week, Charles. It was 3-3-1. Well, now they're 3-9-1. That losing streak extends to 6 games after Minnesota defeats them in Week 14, 20-7. Their rookie quarterback, David Blau, he got another start. It's now 5 straight weeks without Matthew Stafford. He figures to be done the rest of the way. So, unfortunately, the year really has spiraled south for this Detroit Lions team.
And you can look at just about every aspect and find reasons why. All right, you start with Matthew Stafford missing a number of games due to injury. You end up with Jeff Driscoll for a short time, then David Blau, undrafted, even though they traded for him in the preseason because they liked him. and he had to deal with Minnesota's defense. That's not good for an experienced quarterback, let alone a rookie in this league. And how many times have we said this over the years? The running game lacks splash plays. We've said that pretty much for the last 10, 15 years in Detroit.
Well, they'll try to save face over the last 3 weeks. They'll be home for Tampa Week 15, then at Denver before coming back home to host the Packers. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And Andola's got it, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. They'll run with McKissick. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. The dump off good for 8 there on first down.
Complete to Kenny Galladay. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And some space here. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We're scoreless after one. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Come on, set. 50, plant.
Here we go.
Now back to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get up.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Denver getting the football back here, Charles. Earlier we talked about Drew Lock, 2-0 in his first 2 NFL starts, and maybe his future with that franchise. You're hoping they can finish strong if you're a Denver fan because, look, this season did not begin the way that they had hoped, but they're 5-8. If they win their last 3, it could be a 500 year all of a sudden.
Well, it's going to be a challenge to get to 500 because their next game in Kansas City against the Chiefs, then they're at home against the Lions and the Raiders, and those look to be winnable games right now. But Kansas City trending upward, playing not just for a division crown but playoff seeding. But at the same time, how about Drew Lock? His first win against a Chargers team that was trying to stay in the playoff race. His second win against the AFC South Division leading Houston Texans in Houston. Got that done. And then he comes back now and goes to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes. This young man's getting an education in a hurry.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A good pickup there, 20 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Lock now on 1st down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
Go now. 18 Gator.
And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Right up.
Into the red zone, it's Lock. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
I'm here all day.
Ready?
Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. On third and long, it's Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I know it looks easy to a lot of people when you're kicking the ball. I mean, it looks pretty simple, right? Snap, put it down, kick it. But playing in the snow, that can throw off your timing just a bit, and that can wreak havoc, as we just saw there.
Well, it throws off the timing, and I just think it's an extra advantage for the team that's coming in to block it because they've got a hold on the offensive side, and, of course, the kicker and holder and snapper, they've got a lot to deal with.
What can't be underestimated is the person catching the ball, the holder, and putting it down. You're talking about cold hands, snowy weather, ball can get slippery on you. It's a lot of extra pressure on that person.
And they're able to get it down, but a nice job to get in and block it. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. James has got it, complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James, and it'll bring up third down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards that time. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. Second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft is teammate T.J. Hockenson. 8th overall, he was selected by the Lions. But Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 49-yard line.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go. 70, Indy. You ain't got nothing. Out. Hit it.
They'll try the draw, Lindsey, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Throwing his lock on third down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Jones has it. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Looking to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Prater's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded at the 2.
Let's go, baby.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. And what I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Second half starts with a run by Lindsey. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Another run by Lindsey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
On the set.
51.
Hey, watch the lane.
Check, 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 check.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They're down here in the third quarter, trying to get something going. Going to the outside there didn't work out, though.
Yeah, and from the cheap seats and from where you and I are sitting, we did pay a pretty good price to get in here, right? You often wonder to yourself, why do you make that type of a call? That one went for no gain. But I think this offense thinks to
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
It's 4th down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Ready?
This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Draw play here at Scarborough. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
10 logo.
Here we go. Shoot.
Ready?
They try again with Scarborough. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's McKissick. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
A gain of 7. First down.
Let's go. 90, Wolf.
45. You're not ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and goal from the 1.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there. And now it's 2nd down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple. And that's exactly why they trail.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. Yeah, that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. That's one of those interceptions watching from up here that quarterback wide receiver just looked a little out of sync.
They did look a little out of sync, and yeah, they're going to examine that when they get to the sidelines, and they'll talk about it throughout next week when they watch the tape. But the guy who's going to be there for him, really in his ear, is his center. Because that's a special relationship for a rookie quarterback. Your center handles your line calls. He gets everyone in the proper position to block. He'll be the first guy back to pick you up after you've been knocked down. And that's the guy you watch the extra film with and try and learn the league.
Ready up.
51 to Mike.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Get it. Go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48 8-yard line. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
51, Mike 51. Come on, D.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. They'll go again with Lindsey. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They look to throw. It's Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. It's a big play there for the Broncos. And even 50 yards.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Lock now on 1st down. This is the tight end Fant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
Brings up second and 7. At the Lions' 29-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play,
so the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Locke. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. To throw it is Locke. He's got his tight end fan. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Throwing now is Locke, and this is going to be incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target, but it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Locke again here on second and 10. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Locke looking for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game.
Ready.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Lock gonna go on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
On the ready.
45, check Mike 45. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid. Go. Check 31.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They run. This is Scarborough. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now Drew Lock and the Broncos. Down by 2 touchdowns. 34 seconds to go. They've yet to score all game long, but now they need to do so twice in short order to have a shot. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd and long, it's Lock. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.